A surprisingly dramatic relationship, Greenland and the USA. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a geopolitical relationship that's more fascinating and frankly more awkward than a middle school dance. It involves a giant island covered in ice, a superpower with a penchant for real estate, and enough historical baggage to fill a cargo plane. Buckle up, because we're about to unpack the top 10 facts about the surprisingly dramatic relationship between Greenland and the USA. Now you might be thinking, Greenland and the USA? Isn't that a bit like comparing the love lives of a potted plant and a Kardashian? And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. But their history goes back further than you might think, all the way to the early 20th century. That's when the US decided that owning a giant ice cube near the top of the world might be a good idea, because, you know, who needs a balanced budget when you can have strategic Arctic dominance? Fast forward to World War II, and suddenly that whole giant ice cube thing wasn't so funny anymore. Greenland, you see, found itself with some rather unfortunate beachfront property, strategically located right in the middle of everything. The US, realizing that maybe they shouldn't have skipped out on buying it earlier, swooped in and established military bases. Because nothing says we come in peace like a few thousand troops and enough firepower to melt a glacier. Speaking of awkward house guests who overstayed their welcome, let's talk about Thule Air Base. Established in 1951, it's like that friend who crashed on your couch for a weekend and is still somehow there, rearranging your furniture and using your Netflix password without asking. Except instead of a couch, it's a strategically vital piece of Arctic real estate. And instead of borrowing your Netflix password, it's playing a key role in US defense. Chapter 4, 1946. The year the US offered to buy Greenland, for real. Now remember that whole US wanting to buy Greenland thing? Well, it wasn't just a passing fancy. In 1946 they actually put their money where their mouth was, offering Denmark a cool $100 million for the island. That's right, they tried to buy a country like it was a slightly used minivan. Denmark understandably declined. Probably because they knew a lowball offer when they saw one. Chapter 5, 2019. Trump tries to buy Greenland, again for real. Fast forward a few decades, past the moon landing, the invention of the internet, and the rise of fidget spinners, and what do you know? The US is back at it again, trying to buy Greenland. This time, it was Donald Trump, a man who clearly missed the memo about not buying countries. He even floated the idea of a trade, like Greenland was a slightly used timeshare he was trying to unload. Unsurprisingly, the world reacted with a collective wait, what? Chapter 6. Economic ties, more than just ice and polar bears. Okay, so maybe the whole buying Greenland thing didn't work out so well. But that doesn't mean these two don't have a thing going on. Economically speaking, they're practically dance partners. Think mining, natural resources, and enough potential to make a Wall Street investor drool. It's a relationship built on mutual benefit, although let's be honest, the US probably gets the slightly better end of the deal. But it's not all about money, folks. Greenland and the US are also science bros, working together on the biggest challenge facing our planet: climate change. They're like the unlikely duo in a buddy cop movie, except instead of taking down criminals, they're taking on melting glaciers and rising sea levels. It's a high-stakes partnership with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. No pressure, guys. And speaking of saving the planet, Greenland and the US are also all about that environmental cooperation. They're like the poster children for sustainable development, working together to protect the Arctic and combat climate change. It's a partnership that proves even the most unlikely allies can find common ground when it comes to the future of our planet. But it's not all serious business in saving the planet. Greenland and the US also like to let loose and have some fun. Cultural exchanges and tourism are on the rise, with Americans flocking to Greenland to experience its stunning landscapes and unique culture. And who knows, maybe someday soon we'll see a Greenlandic reality show about a family from Nook visiting Disneyland for the first time. The possibilities are endless. So, where do things stand today? Well, despite the whole trying to buy each other thing, Greenland and the US maintain a surprisingly stable and cooperative diplomatic relationship. They're like that couple who's been together forever and knows how to push each other's buttons, but ultimately they've got each other's backs. It's a partnership built on mutual respect, shared interests, and the understanding that sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. So there you have it, folks. The surprisingly complex, occasionally awkward, but ultimately fascinating relationship between Greenland and the USA. It's a story of history, strategy, economics, and a whole lot of ice. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating insights into international relations. And who knows, maybe next time we'll delve into the equally intriguing world of Tuvalu and Vatican City relations. Stay tuned.